Amazon has just pulled a major lever that could slash your FBA storage capacity by up to 75% or worse. That's not even the biggest change they did this week. If you're not paying attention, your inventory could get stranded, your ASINs could vanish, your ability to send inventory into Amazon could get crushed, your Q4 game could be over before it even starts. I'm Fred McKinnon with Ecom Catalyst. We manage dozens and dozens of brands on Amazon, seeing this every day. And I want to talk to you about this, exactly what it means. And if this is impacting you, I want to tell you how you can look into your capacity manager. And then most importantly, at the end, I'm going to tell you a few ways that you can fix this problem on your own Amazon account. So stay tuned. All right, first let's talk about what's happening. Amazon, they just made this change over the last couple of weeks where they really crushed down the amount of warehouse storage that they're allowing sellers to use. Storage capacity dropped from what has been about a 6-month projected sales volume, and they crushed that down to a 5-month projected sales volume. And so what happened is some sellers saw a pretty drastic decline of up to 75% in their storage capacity. And they're getting emails that say, hey, here's your storage capacity at Amazon FBA for the month of June, for the month of July. And there's been a lot of hyper reaction to this because there's sellers that are small sellers and sellers that are huge, 9, 10 plus figure sellers that you would think would never be impacted by this are being slammed right now. And they're like, I can't even create a shipment. I can't even send anything to Amazon at all right now. And my best seller, I can't send it in. It's a big, big problem, okay? Amazon is doubling down on what's called their IPI Score and sales velocity and lead times and things like that. So let's talk about IPI Score. That's something that Amazon, they introduced it, a couple of years ago, and it stands for Inventory Performance Index. I'm gonna show you a quick screenshot of what that looks like over here on my computer. I've got an account open here. And, on this particular one, the IPI, Inventory Performance Index score, is 547. It's in green. So actually, that's not bad. That's pretty good. And as you look here, you can see there's a few obvious problems. There's some excess inventory here. Amazon does not like that. They would like to see the sell-through a little bit higher, and they don't want stranded inventory and things like that. Okay, so if you have something like this going on, then what you want to do sooner than later is get in and figure out what's going on and look at your capacity. Now, at the bottom of the screen, you can see the capacity monitor. And if I click on capacity monitor, now you should be able to see what that looks like. When you do this, you can see the capacity monitor for all the different buckets. They have buckets for standard size, and then they have buckets for oversized, extra large. I don't have anything extra large. I do have some things overhand here. Apparel, footwear, aerosols, and flammable. This is your capacity. And I'm in a good place on this particular. This is a small account I use for a few things that I can specifically even use here on this YouTube channel. And so I'm in a good spot. I'm not really using much. Right now, I've got a base limit of 419.28. And it's important to point out that when you hear that, that is in cubic meters. That's how that's defined. So I have 419 cubic meters worth of storage allowed on this particular thing. And then in July, they're giving me a little more, 459, in August, 451. So that's how they're factoring, for example, my standard size. But let's say, for example, that you are a seller and yours is maxed out and you're already at your capacity limit. And next month, they reduce your capacity limit even more, hindering your ability to send in. Well, when that happens, you want to go and try to do a few things. Number one, you want to try to get rid of some stuff. Find your slow-moving items and put them on sale. Get those things out of there. Find any of your stale inventory, run best deals, lightning deals, put them on sale, add coupons, do anything you can do to start churning that inventory out of Amazon's warehouses. If you have a Shopify store, connect your Shopify store to Amazon so that when you have an order, you can actually fulfill that order with that stale inventory and get things looking better. But worst case scenario, one of the ways that you can fix this is by going into the capacity manager and then requesting more space. All right, and here's what that looks like here. I'm gonna go to the capacity manager, and it's gonna open up in a new tab here. And as you can see, it shows you the same thing that it showed before, but there's this create new request button. And if I click on the create new request button, it's asking, June's already come and gone. So we're looking at July. Now, I don't need it particularly on this count, but let's just say, I know that right now I have a base of 460, rounded up, 460 cubic feet. I'm going to need more. I know that I've got a new product launch coming, and it's gonna take all that I have, and I'm gonna need more. So let's just say I'm gonna request 800 feet. I wanna double it. Maybe let's double it to 900 cubic feet, okay? And then you literally have to bid on a maximum reservation fee. So what that means is you're literally having to go to Amazon, and you're literally having to say, hey, I'm willing to pay for more storage. All right, and here's where it gets tricky. You think, I'm already paying for storage. Why would I have to pay to get more storage? Well, they have a way where you could request more storage and you bid for it, a maximum bid. That doesn't mean you're gonna pay that for it, but if accepted, then you're able to get that extra inventory. If you utilize it wisely, you don't wind up having to pay for it at all. If you don't utilize it properly, then that bid that you made per cubic meter is gonna add up, and you're gonna have some problems. Now down here on the same page, they have way at the bottom, download the calculator tool. And when you download that tool, it looks really, really cool. And we're gonna open that up here, open our trusty Excel spreadsheet, okay? And on this, I'm just gonna walk through this right now. We're gonna just do this on standard size, and I wanna go to 900. My base, let's say my base is 450. I wanna go to 900. Estimated sales for the target period in dollars. Let's say I'm gonna do an extra $45,000 in sales. Okay, so now it populates these other columns. I'm increasing it 66.7%. Sales qualified for the performance credit is 30,000. So I'm having to estimate what I think my sales are gonna be. And it's very important that you don't underestimate this, right? Because if you do, you'll be penalized. I shouldn't say penalized. You'll have to pay what you're already bidding to pay anyway. But if you hit your mark and you hit it well, then you won't. For example, let me back this down and say, I think I'm gonna do I'm gonna do 15,000 in sales. Okay, 15,000. Let's see, yeah, 15,000. Okay, so where they have me now is at $1.67 per cubic meter, or cubic foot. I'm sorry, they're doing it in cubic foot, not cubic meters. So I correct myself on that. $1.67. So that would be kind of the estimated amount that it would take me to do that. So let's say maybe I bid $1.85 per cubic foot. And as you see here, if you multiply that 167 times the amount of additional storage that I want, then it would be $1,200 is the performance credit. If my sales are 20% below the estimate, the performance credit is $1,200, and I would still owe $300. But if I hit my sales estimate or go above my sales estimate, I have to pay nothing at all. All right. So that's kind of what that looks like. And it's a little confusing. And when you first do it, I would suggest, you can always submit the bid again. So submit a bid that you feel comfortable with, and submit a revenue estimate that you feel comfortable with, and see what happens. But honestly, I feel like that's kind of the last resort, okay? The first thing that you really want to do is just take action on your existing inventory. ASIN level restrictions are coming back. That means they'll put restrictions on how many units of one specific ASIN you can send, not just your entire account. That adds a whole nother layer of complexity to inventory forecasting. So what you want to do is continually audit your IPI score. You can get to your IPI score in Amazon Seller Central. You go into inventory performance. Your IPI score is there, as well as at the bottom, the link to see your capacity manager, right? Clean up dead ASINs, all right? Anything that's inactive, outdated, low converting, that's just dead weight, get rid of it. If you have to, just remove it. Have it sent back or disposed. Lean inventory strategy is your ticket to get out of all this. Ship smarter, not more. Avoid excess units, okay? One thing that you want to use is begin using other areas to store product. AWD, for example. Most sellers agree that this entire thing that Amazon is doing is solely for the explicit purpose of forcing sellers to move their inventory into AWD, which stands for Amazon Warehousing and Distribution. I won't get into AWD on this video, but our channel here at eCom Catalyst is like becoming the de facto location for AWD information. We have an entire playlist. So look up, you can click and you can see the playlist for AWD. Got lots of videos all about AWD. Would love for you to watch that, okay? Diversify your fulfillment. 3PLs, AWD. Don't rely on only being able to send to FBA. This is crushing people right now who have been talking to us on strategy and consultant calls that intended to send a full 40-foot container straight from China or straight from wherever into FBA. And now they're not able to do that because of these inventory restrictions. Stay informed. Follow vetted sources. I'll be updating you here on this YouTube channel as frequently as I can. I spend a lot of time, probably hours per day, reading vetted sources, studying, following people, networking with 7, 8, 9, 10 plus figure sellers, as well as a pretty decent Rolodex of Amazonians, people who actually work at Amazon who are giving me information that I can pass on to you. And I hope that that will help you. Now look, Amazon's not slowing down. If anything, it's going crazy, right? Amazon's not slowing down. Neither should you. These changes aren't just like policy updates, they're signals. They are signals that it's time to tighten your operations, your inventory workflow, your logistics, streamline your strategy, and partner with people who live in this space every single day. At eCom Catalyst, that's exactly what we do. We help brands not just survive Amazon's changes, but to scale because of them. So if you're ready to turn this chaos into a competitive advantage, let's talk. Click the top link, the first link in the video description. It'll take you to eCom Catalyst. You can sign up for a quick free, one-time free consultant meeting, or you can actually book a paid half hour or full hour. Or if you're a brand owner and you're seeking to get professional help to guide and to monitor and to scale your brand on Amazon, we can talk about full account management as well. But if there's anything else we can do, hey, drop a comment. I try to answer to all comments. We appreciate you watching. Give us a thumbs up here. Subscribe to the channel. If you really like it and want to toss a little tip our way, click that thanks button at the bottom of the video. You can send a little coffee funds our way. We appreciate it so much.